and welcome back to another video in the Lego room, the new and improved Lego room. If you haven't already seen the video, I'll put a link on screen for you now. Go and check that out after this video. But today I wanted to talk about something that is sort of a staple of the channel in the early days, which was the idea that I would theorize about potential Lego sets that have been and gone. And today I kind of wanted to touch on something that I actually don't think will happen, but I can't pinpoint why. Now, my wife is actually a fully fledged Disney adult, and she and I are going to Disneyland in February next year, so I'm sure that'll be something that we will cover on the channel. But one thing that is very apparent is her love of Lego very much stemmed from her love of Disney. And one thing that I'm curious about is why only certain Disney sets get the Lego branding. By which, of course, we've seen really successful sets like the Disney 100 Up House. We've got the Villains Icon set. You've also seen things like WALL-E in the past, and of course things like the Frozen Castle. And some of these IPs, it's very obvious why they have been turned to Lego, and it's clear money spinner with things like Frozen, and indeed with adults with things like the Up House. However, one thing I can't quite get my head around is the fact that there are certain Pixar films that haven't been turned into Lego sets. Now, the one thing that springs to mind straight off the bat is Monsters Inc. and whether this is something that hasn't been done in Lego form because it was a film from the early 2000s. Now, is that because people who enjoyed it at the time, who were a young kid at the time, such as myself, are now adults, and the only thing that we would want from that kind of IP is something that you could display really nicely, similar to with the Up House, which I think is only 2007. It's not even too far down the line from Monsters Inc. Something like the Up House is really nice and really easy to display. But could you potentially do something like a diorama small box set where you get the door, Boo's door with Sully, with Mike, with the canister in the side, and maybe even Randall as well on the side? Is that something that you could potentially do? It's something I would like to see, and I know somebody did do a Lego Ideas submission like this before. Is it something that we could potentially see in the future? I would certainly hope so, but like I said at the start of this video, I'm not entirely sure any of the sort of sets that I might outline here are things that will actually happen. Next up is something like Finding Nemo, and again, this is 2003 if my maths is correct and I can remember it correctly. And obviously we've seen Finding Dory about 10 years ago or so now, but is this the kind of set that is just too difficult to do given the fact that all of these animals, all these fish should be underwater? I know that Lego did a sort of creator fish tank where you got a Nemo looking type fish along with a couple of other fishes as well. Is that the kind of thing that they would be looking to do? I can't really think of a scene from Finding Nemo or Finding Dory that would be appropriate to do as a diorama, but it does sort of open up the question of why they haven't done a Finding Nemo style set. And especially when you think about the fact that the Disney 100 year they did the Little Mermaid clam, so it's not impossible that you could do a set that is technically underwater. Now, there are a number of different themes and different IPs that you could potentially use from Pixar, but I'm starting to wonder whether or not it's an issue with getting Pixar licensed films through the process of having a sort of license with Lego, whether that's something that will happen in the future, or whether it's something that they just simply cannot do and it's just Disney that they are focusing on. Another IP like this would be something like WreckIt Ralph. I think this was a really good film. Maybe I can't remember how long ago it was now, maybe it's 12 years ago or so since it was first released. This is a great film. You could very easily do a set of the sort of tower block apartment with Ralph hanging off the side of it, with Fix-It Felix sort of tapping the windows. It is something that they could do. Again, because it's 10 years down the line, who is going to buy this set? Is it somebody who has disposable income as an adult? Because if you're making a set like this, it's going to be on the more expensive side. And would there be the right market of people to buy it? But it certainly begs the question why it wasn't done when the film was released. And that is just 3 examples of what I've been sort of thinking about. Now, it's clear that this seems to be a Pixar sort of issue, that they can't seem to make Pixar Lego for whatever reason at the moment, and they can only make Disney Lego. If that is the case, then that's the sort of obvious and quick answer to the sort of piece, but it's something that I've been thinking about. And if you've got any thoughts on this, if you are a Disney adult or a Disney Lego collector, feel free to pop them in the comments section below. It's certainly something that I've been thinking about, and who knows, you might just spark an idea in my brain for a next video. Is there a particular Disney or Pixar set that you would really like to see? If there is, do drop it in the comments below. Make sure you're following or subscribe, because we've got tons of Lego content coming on an almost daily basis at the moment in the Lego room, so make sure you're following or subscribe so you don't miss any of the Lego goodness that'll be coming over the next couple of months. Until the next time, guys, have a wonderful and a nerdy week, and I will see you in the very next video. Bye.